Let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this before you answer. When was the last time life felt genuinely easy? Like, not forced easy, not I'm telling myself it's fine easy, but actually, naturally, effortlessly easy? For a lot of you watching this right now, you're in the middle of something hard. Maybe it's been hard for a while. Maybe it's been months. Maybe it's been longer than that. And somewhere along the way, you started to wonder, is this just how it is now? Is this just my life? And I want to talk to you today because I think that question is one of the most dangerous questions a person can ask themselves. Not because it's wrong to ask it, but because of what we do with it. Because most of us, when we ask that question, start answering it in a way that isn't true. We start to build a case for why the hard season is permanent, why what we're going through is just the new normal. And that story, that quiet, convincing, very believable story, is exactly what keeps the hard season going longer than it was ever meant to. So today, I want to talk about what is actually happening when you go through a hard season, what it means, what it doesn't mean, and, most importantly, what is on the other side of it. Because I promise you, what's coming after this hard season will surprise you. And I don't mean that as a feel-good thing to say. I mean it as a literal truth about the way that life actually works. And by the time we're done here today, I think you're going to see your situation very differently than you did when you pressed play. So let me just start here because I think this is the foundation of everything we're going to talk about today. Most of us have been taught, either directly or just by watching how the world operates, that hard times are a sign that something has gone wrong. That struggle means you're off track. That if you were really doing things right, if you were really on the right path, things would feel easier. And so, when life gets hard, the first thing we do is look for what we did wrong. What did I miss? What did I fail at? What decision did I make that led me here? And I understand why we do that. It makes sense. It feels responsible. It feels like taking ownership. But here's what I've come to understand through my own experience and through walking alongside a lot of people through their hardest moments. Struggle is not always a signal that you're off track. Sometimes, and I would say most of the time, struggle is a signal that you are right in the middle of the most important transition of your life. And transitions, by nature, are uncomfortable. They are supposed to feel like something is ending, because something is, and something new is trying to begin. And that process, that in-between space where the old thing has already started to dissolve and the new thing hasn't quite arrived yet, that is the hardest place to be. And that is exactly where a lot of you are sitting right now. Now, I want to break this down because I think there are three things that happen during a hard season that most people completely misread. And when you misread them, you make choices that actually extend the hard season rather than move through it. But when you understand what they actually are, when you can see them for what they really mean, they become some of the most powerful experiences of your life. The first thing that happens in a hard season is that everything that wasn't working gets exposed. Now, stay with me here because I know that sounds uncomfortable, but think about it. When life is cruising along and everything feels fine, we don't question much. We don't dig deep. We don't ask the hard questions about whether the life we're living is actually the life we want. We just keep going. We keep doing what we've always done because it's working well enough. And well enough has a way of keeping us exactly where we are. But then something shifts. The relationship starts to crack. The business stops growing. The body starts sending signals you can't ignore. The career that used to feel okay suddenly feels completely hollow. And in that moment, most people experience a kind of panic. Like, what is happening? Why is everything falling apart? And what I want you to hear is this. It's not falling apart. It's falling into clarity. Because what the hard season is doing is removing the things that were never going to take you where you actually want to go. It is stripping away the comfortable but wrong, the familiar but unfulfilling, the safe but suffocating. And yes, that process is painful. It is disorienting. It can feel like loss. And in some ways, it is loss. But here's the thing about loss that nobody tells you. You cannot receive what is meant for you while your hands are still full of what wasn't. The hard season creates the space. And the space, as uncomfortable as it is where everything new is born. So if you are in a season right now where things that used to work are no longer working, where relationships are shifting, where plans are falling through, where the ground beneath you feels less solid than it used to, I want you to consider the possibility that this is not punishment. This is preparation. Something is being cleared to make room for something better. And the question isn't, why is this happening to me? The question is, what is this making room for? And before we continue, I want you to do something in the comments. Type this: I'm still becoming. Because one day you're going to look back at this season and realize it didn't destroy you. It introduced you to who you really are. The second thing that happens in a hard season is that you discover what you're actually made of. And I know that sounds like something you'd read on a motivational poster, but I want to go deeper than that because I think this is one of the most genuinely significant things that a hard time produces in a person. And it has nothing to do with toughening up or grinding through or any of that. It has to do with identity. See, most of us walk through life with a version of ourselves that was built in comfortable conditions. The version of you that shows up when things are going well, when people are supportive, when the resources are there, when the path is clear. And that version of you is real. But it is not the full picture of who you are. The full picture only gets revealed under pressure. And here's what I've seen happen over and over again in my own life and in the lives of the people I've worked with. When someone goes through a genuinely hard season, when they face something they didn't think they could face, and they come out the other side, they are not the same person they were going in. Not because they hardened, not because they shut down, but because they found something inside themselves that they didn't know was there. A resilience, a clarity, a kind of quiet confidence that doesn't need external validation because it was forged internally. And you cannot buy that. You cannot read your way to it. You cannot think your way to it. You can only earn it by going through something hard and choosing not to let it break you. And so, if you're in the middle of something right now that is testing you in ways you didn't expect, if you are being asked to show up in ways that feel beyond what you think you're capable of, I want you to know something. You are not being broken down. You are being built up. You are being introduced to a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, more capable, and more grounded than the version that existed before this season started. And that version of you is the one who is going to carry you into everything that's coming next. The third thing that happens in a hard season, and this is the one I think is the most important, is that your desire gets refined. Let me explain what I mean by that. Most of us, before a hard season hits, have a general sense of what we want. We want more money. We want a better relationship. We want to feel healthier. We want more freedom. And those wants are real, but they're also vague. They're surface level. They're what we want in a comfortable, theoretical, everything is fine kind of way. But then life gets hard and something interesting happens. The vague wants start to get very specific because when you're in the middle of struggle, you become crystal clear about what actually matters to you, what you're actually willing to fight for, what you genuinely want versus what you thought you wanted because it seemed like the right thing to want. And that clarity, that sharp, unambiguous, born from real experience clarity, is one of the most valuable things a human being can possess. Because clarity is creative. When you know with precision what you want, you are able to call it into your life in a way that a vague wish never could. And the hard season produces that clarity in a way that nothing else can. It burns away everything that was just noise and leaves behind only what is real, only what truly matters, only what you are genuinely willing to build your life around. I went through a period in my own life that was genuinely one of the hardest stretches I had ever faced. And at the time, I could not see anything good in it. I could not find the meaning. I couldn't understand why things had gotten so difficult when I felt like I was doing everything right. And it wasn't until I came out the other side of it that I could see what that season had done for me. It had given me a precision of purpose that I never had before. It had made me ruthlessly clear about what I was here to do and who I was here to do it with. And everything that came after that season, everything good, everything meaningful, everything that I'm most proud of, was built on the foundation that the hard season laid. So here's what I want to say to you directly. And I mean this as someone who has been in the hard season and who has come out the other side of it. What is coming after this is going to surprise you. Not because life is going to magically get easy, not because all your problems are going to evaporate overnight, but because of who you are becoming inside of this season, because of what is being cleared out to make room, because of the clarity that is being forged inside of you right now, whether you can feel it happening or not. The version of your life that is on the other side of this hard season is not the same version that existed before it started. It is bigger, it is more aligned, it is more real, and it is being built right now. In the waiting, in the struggle, in the moments where you chose to keep going when everything in you wanted to stop. And I know how hard it is to hold on to that when you're in the middle of it. I know how difficult it is to trust the process when you can't see the outcome, when you're tired, when you've been patient for what feels like too long already, when the people around you seem to be moving forward while you feel like you're standing still. I know that feeling, and I want to tell you, standing still is not what's happening. You just can't see the movement yet because it's happening underneath the surface. It's happening in you, and that is always where the most important movement happens first. Now here's the part that I really want you to take away from today, because I think this is where most people get it wrong. Most of us try to rush through the hard season. We try to force our way out of it. We try to control our way out of it. We try to think our way out of it. And the harder we push against it, the longer it tends to last. Because the hard season is not your enemy. It is your teacher. And you cannot learn the lesson by running from the classroom. What I found, and what I've seen work over and over again, is that the way through a hard season is not to fight it. It's to move through it with intention. It's to ask the right questions, not why is this happening to me, but what is this season showing me? What is it clearing? What is it preparing me for? What is it making me ready to receive? Because when you shift from resistance to curiosity, something changes. The hard season doesn't get easier necessarily, but it gets purposeful. And purposeful hard is a completely different experience than purposeless hard. Purposeless hard breaks people. Purposeful hard builds them. So today, I want to leave you with 3 questions, and I want you to actually write these down if you can. Take them somewhere quiet. Sit with them, because I think if you answer these honestly, they will shift something in you. The first question is, what has this season already shown me about myself that I didn't know before? The second question is, what has this season cleared out of my life that, if I'm really honest, was never going to take me where I actually wanted to go? And the third question is, if this season is preparing me for something, what is the most extraordinary version of what that something could be? Because what you focus on, you move toward. And if you can start to genuinely orient yourself toward the possibility of what's coming rather than the weight of what you're currently carrying, if you can hold even a small, honest belief that what's on the other side of this is worth going through this for, you will move through the season faster, you will come out of it stronger, and you will look back on this moment someday and understand exactly why it had to happen. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are in the middle of a season that is doing something in you that cannot be done any other way. And what's coming after it, the clarity, the version of yourself, the life that is being made possible by everything you're going through right now, it is going to surprise you in the best possible way. Hold on, keep going, and trust that the hard season is not the end of your story. It is the part that makes everything else possible.